Just the A's.
I got to say, for the first time in my entire life, I did not watch a minute of the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game. I got to make this confession right now.
I'm not surprised by that because I thought I'd be getting text from you on one of the group chats. And the fact that I didn't hear from you at all, I'm like, wow, Bull must not be watching. And I didn't really see a lot either.
Yeah.
I watched like the YouTube recaps just to be caught up for the show.
I was keeping track of the score, but I was just busy doing other things, and it just wasn't a priority. It used to be like I've grown tired of the Home Run Derby, especially because now the Stars are starting to not be in it. But I did say on either my podcast yesterday or the Guardian show, bet the NL in the over, and I was right about both. Although the NL blew it in the ninth when Edwin Diaz gave up that hit. And actually, it was 6-0 NL at one point.
6-0. Rooker hit a 3-run homer.
Right.
And then Kwan hit a 25-foot.
I didn't even know they were doing this thing now where you hit do this Home Run Derby.
I think this was the first year for it.
Yeah, and Schwarber won it, but
well, what's stupid about it?
I don't like nothing about it.
Well, if you're going to do this, you have to make the guy stay to the end. Because the fact that Jonathan Aranda's the last hope for the American League and not Aaron Judge is ridiculous. But Judge was out of the game.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet that, he had left the ballpark entirely, which I don't blame him. Hey, these guys don't get very many days off.
No.
You want to take advantage. If you can start your break that night rather than waste a travel day the next day, go. But yet at the same time, you're Aaron Judge, and you need to be available if something like this happens.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to work on that a little bit because the lineup that the American League put out there was disappointing.
If they're losing guys like me from watching the game, if it becomes that's a problem because I love baseball, but I just wasn't that interested in watching the game. Part of it is because some of the stars weren't playing. I didn't have a problem with Jose Ramirez not playing, but if this becomes a trend where the best players start to not play like we see in other sports more often,
I think it will.
It's a problem. It's not good.
I don't blame the players though.
No, I don't. I get it, but
it's a 6-7 month season. If you can steal 5 days in the middle to go lay on a beach somewhere, I don't blame you.
I'd want the time off.
Yeah.
That's why none of us had a problem with Jose. Especially here.
But it is bad for the game.
It is.
Of
course it
is. Definitely. It's hard to sell the product. I think if Jose Ramirez would have played, we all probably would have been tuned in.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting.
Would have been
Kwan
more interested.
did pinch hit.
Yeah.
Got a hit, got an RBI.
Hit the RBI single.
We were all wrong at the end of the show yesterday.
Yeah.
What'd you guys say?
He would not get a hit.
We all said no.
Yeah.
So, he hit it 17 feet.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a hit.
It worked. It worked.
It's a hit.
And besides that, obviously I don't have much to say about it.
But it's funny because the Home Run Derby used to be my favorite of all the collective post-sport All-Star events, and even that has become watered down. I can remember the Derby back at Fenway, when Ken Griffey was there, Mark McGwire was there. The stars, the big name stars used to always be in the Home Run Derby, kind of like the big name stars used to be in the Slam Dunk Contest.
Well, but the Slam Dunk Contest lost stars much longer ago. Yeah. So the Home Run Derby has had stars really until
last couple of years, maybe?
Yeah, and you want to see the big guys. It's not just because with the Home Run Derby, Jose hits a lot of home runs, but he's not going to be as good in a Home Run Derby because he's not a big guy.
He's hitting wall scrapers.
Right. The pitchers are not throwing as hard, so you got to generate more of your own power. People want to see Ohtani and Judge. Yeah. These big, huge guys.
Give me Soto. Give me Ohtani. Give me Judge.
Pete Alonso.
I don't find it necessarily as appealing on TV anymore, but in 2019, when the All-Star Game was here, watching it in person was awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
That was awesome to see it live.
That was a fun. That whole experience of the All-Star Game being here was.
The Home Run Derby here was fun.
Cleveland knocked it out of the park.
We did. It
was people around baseball were raving about what a great job Cleveland did. And hey, hats off to the Guardians because they were phenomenal. As hosts over All-Star Weekend, and Home Run Derby was great. I think that's the year Vladdy hit 90 over all the rounds combined. That's just insane. I can't even imagine how many baseballs they went through for a round of that. But and I'm sure you did as a kid. I remember watching the old replays of the black and white,
home one-on-one home run derbies. Yeah.
Like
with the superstars.
Oh yeah,
it was the best players.
Mickey Mantle
this week it's Mickey Mantle against Willie Mays. Next week it's Hank Aaron against Frank Robinson.
And they're at Padua High School.
Yeah, right.
Hitting home runs.
It was incredible. And even as a kid, the first once they went to this type of format, the first home run derby was won by Dave Parker, who's about to go in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, some of those years you'd have Sammy Sosa and Bonds and Griffey and A-Rod and, all these superstars that were huge sluggers hitting, Ryan Howard as we went a little further, that were hitting just massive, massive home runs.
And much like the dunk contest, there's no reason for these guys not to do it.
None.
There's no reason. It doesn't screw up your swing.
They're so full of crap.
That's stupid.
If you have an injury, fine.
Yeah.
If some sort of injury, as long as you're healthy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that LeBron never did a
I agree.
Not one.
I agree. He gets blamed for killing a lot of things in the NBA. Some of it unfairly. He was one of the first to not do it.
He should do it next year. Out of the blue. Shock everybody.
Okay, at 42, come out and win it?
Yeah.
Or 40, what is he? He's 40 now. He'd be 41.
I feel like there'd be no pressure because even if he didn't win, so what? He's 41.
Yo, Vince Carter put on in the slam dunk contest.
Oh, the slam dunk contest.
Jason
I used to watch all that stuff when I was a kid.
He used to put on for the slam dunk contest.
But now all these things, it's too many rounds, it's too many
It's too many gimmicks.
And they've all been done. All the dunks have been done.
Right, what can we say?
So that I guess that part of it I understand, but no such thing as that home run's already been done.
Right, that's true.
Yeah. Home run derby is still that's still a thing for me.
It is cool, but I just was not interested.
This past year, I really wasn't that interested. A lot of the names.
It was not as big names generally. Yeah. Although Cal Raleigh with the nickname Big Dumper, I mean that's an old school nickname right there. He used to have great nicknames back in the day.
Is this a one-off season for him?
I don't think so. I mean, he's been a very good player his whole career. He's taken it to obviously another level this year.
This is crazy.
I think
it's hard for a catcher.
This is a career year. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to. I mean, he's going to hit 50 this year probably.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he'll ever hit 50 again. No. But he's an excellent player.
And
it's hard for a catcher.
He's excellent defensively.
You should have seen me looking at his numbers. I asked Mike twice. I say, "Hey, do Stat Moose got this wrong?" He no, those is his first half numbers. I'm like, this is crazy.
Crazy his home run numbers.
And he was one of the guys. He was the main focal points of the piece I wrote last year on switch hitters are dying in America. American kids just don't switch hit anymore. And he was great. I talked to him for about 20 minutes at the Mariners spring training complex, and he said my dad was his coach who threw to him in the home run derby. He said his dad was his coach, and he made him hit from both sides of the plate as a kid. He said, I'm so thankful that he did. I mean, a power-hitting, switch-hitting catcher is like triple word score.
Oh, my God.
Those things just don't exist anymore.
I had a kid on my Little League team was a switch hitter, by the way.
Good on him.
And he only hit left-handed once, and he came through with a 2-run single.
Did he really?
But he could do it. Apparently, there's a guy in the minors now who's a switch pitcher. We've seen this from time to time.
Yeah, I think I did. Oh, man, I just read about him the other day. I forget his name now.
Yeah, I don't know, but...
He's like a top prospect, too.
Yeah.
Switch pitcher. He throws right and left. He can pitch with right or left.
So, do you this might be a dumb question, do you adjust, batter to batter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an insane skill set.
Yeah. I mean, that's why
crazy.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
It's so rare.
So you got 2 gloves on the mound with you and everything?
Yeah, you could build a special mitt probably to fit your hands one way or the other. It would be the webbing would be a little bit off, I guess, but you could do it. You could have a custom glove made.
It's funny. When I was a kid playing ball, I throw left-handed, bat right-handed, which is the most unusual combo. But I could, and I did it once in a game just to see if I could do it. I could bunt left-handed.
Drag bunt?
Only bunt. I couldn't, if I tried to swing, I wouldn't hit it.
Yeah.
So I got there one time in when I was on JV, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I don't give a I'm going to see if I can actually do this in a game because I had done it with my friends, practicing. And I got up in a game and I bunted. And I beat it out.
Safe? There you go.
Yeah. Believe it or not, you look at me now, you wouldn't guess. But when I was in high school, I actually had decent speed. I was a big kid, but I wasn't, obese as a kid. And I could run decently at that time. So, and, there was no scouting report to know that
you could only bunt.
Yeah, I can only bunt left-handed, right? Anywho.
Jason, I texted you the name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh.
So I'm going to trust you on this one.
What is it?
Oh, I can't pronounce it either. Jurangelo Ginty, C-J-I-N-T-E. He's a top prospect. What team is he with?
Mariners.
Yeah, I was just reading. He's a top 10 prospect, I think.
Yeah. So. That's a crazy, amazing skill to have.
I mean, imagine just to make it to the majors throwing one way is 1 in a million. Well, to be able to do it with either.
And that's why what Ohtani has done in the big leagues is
so remarkable.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned,
and by the way, he's pitching now. Like once a week, he throws 2-3 innings. He doesn't give up any runs. I mean, it's just they should. I don't know who. Maybe somebody else said this here. I don't know. I'd use him as my closer in the playoffs.
Somebody said that on TV. One of the MLB Network guys said that that he should be the closer.
Yeah.
I mean, as the opener, he could still bat leadoff.
Right.
As the closer, but how can you? What if he's on base in the 8th inning? What if it comes to you can't get loose? How do you warm up?
That's a tricky situation, yeah.
Yeah, so
I guess you couldn't use them all the time. I guess it would depend on the circumstances.
If anybody can do it, it's probably
I mean, it's just crazy.
I mean, probably 5 pitches, he's good.
Let's go. Let's do this.